Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Factorio. Hope you guys are having a great day today, whatever day it is. Last time we were doing a bunch more science and we're actually getting close to a finished infrastructure on our system. We were trying to get a few extra bits of sciencing in to try to find a way to perfectly distribute all of the different items. I have a few ideas, but I may end up just setting something up and working on this at a later date because I kind of realized the last couple episodes I haven't actually really built anything. I mean, I've been building, but I've been tearing everything down just in the name of science. So I think I'm going to try to deviate from that a little bit. The problem we've been trying to solve, if you are just tuning in here, is how to evenly distribute items from a conveyor. Because the problem is, say a conveyor has both sides filled up with the same product. When you're pulling from that line, you're only going to be pulling from one side if it's continually pulling. The only way to circumvent that is, of course, to pull from two sides, but those different materials have to also be evenly consumed. And so if you have two things pulling from the same side, but only being consumed on one side, then you run into some serious problems. So I think the solution we're going to use here is one where we have four pieces on one side and four pieces on the other side, each being fed by the same belt. So just to show what we're going to do here is the iron is going to be coming down from this direction. So I'm going to just let me go ahead and clear some of these trees out here for now. There we go. And I'm just going to say that this is my iron line. Go ahead and break these up here a little bit. I'll keep the lights up. So I'm going to pull from both sides of the iron line like so. Hopefully this will work just fine. So now I will be putting the iron in here. Now I'm obviously also going to need to split coal into this very same location, so I'm going to have to work that in somehow as well. But just for now, just to get a baseline for how I want this to look, this will work. So we have that. So what I should actually likely do here is have each of these, yeah, you know what, this is what we're going to do. Each of these is going to be placing the materials on the opposite side, and then I want to have that be flipped so it can then reach the same side. So just to show here exactly what I'm talking about, let me set up a coal line to do the same thing. So we will, have this, hello electronics, all finished for me. Let's see what all else we can pick up. Ooh, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to get some of the machine 2s. So we'll do that. We're going to need 80 sciences for that, 80 science units for that. So I guess I could potentially automate that, but we're going to work on continuing this for now. I'm going to go ahead and start making at least, I guess, a couple sciences here. They don't take too long to make, so while I'm doing all this, the rest of the stuff, we can do all of that. So this will be our coal line coming in, and the coal line will separate as well, which looks like I need some fast inserters, so that's no big deal. And I actually could build the coal line immediately if I wanted to, but I need to come up with a very compact way to have the lines flipped here. So I guess the easiest way to do that would be, so they're going to be on the outside, and I need to get them on the inside, so to speak. So I think the best way to do that would be like this. I would take them to the no, they'll still be on that side, so I need to have them like this. There we go. So that'll actually flip them to the other side, if you can see that there. And now I can do that. And then same thing here, they're going to be on, actually go ahead and drop this off real quick. They're going to be on this side, the outside, the top side here, so I need to get them on the bottom side, which I should be able to do like this. There we go. So if you guys can follow what's going on here, I have the products will be the iron or the ore or whatever will be pulling from here, and being deposited to the far side of each of these. And the way I have these now routed, it should be flipping them to the inner side. So when I get to here, I can pick up the other product on each line. And if I go ahead and make a few more of these fast inserters here, it'll be filling the other portion of it. So I'm going to need a few more transport belts as well. So there we go. And now all I need is the other materials line, which I can actually have these run pretty much side by side if I do it properly here. Because you can actually, yeah, there we go. I can just have that running under there, and then I can make a few more transport belts. And if everything is going according to plan, while I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and make a few more science packs. I can have this curve here, and then I can have this curve here. So there we go. And let's see here. Where's the coal? Okay, so the coal's actually coming from right here. Oh, it's not getting power because that would be why. Boop. There we go. Killed the coal line there. That's not good. So I'm actually going to need another station of these to have the coal get filtered in properly. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up right here. And we will just deviate the coal like so. We'll have the coal come underground, above ground, and then curve back in here. And now the coal will be getting distributed like that. The coal will also ideally be getting put on both sides of this in order to evenly fill everything. So I'm going to have to expand my coal mining operation to have it be placing things on both sides, but that should be quite doable. Actually, oh, you know what? I need to put this a little further back here. Otherwise it won't quite work. Because I need to be able to tunnel this under and have this run to the other set of things, the copper line. So let me chop some more trees down, clear out some more land here. Take that temporarily, and let's grab another mining drill. And there we go. So I will, pardon me, Mr. Copperline. I need to move you for a second here. Try to get this distributed as evenly as possible. Yeah, that'll work. Good enough. So now they should both be filling evenly. I do still need to run coal up to this area for now, so just for now I'm going to go ahead and split this line as well. And we will go ahead and do that right here. Yeah, the copper is going to be routed down this way, so I don't actually have to have that position there anymore. So there we go. Go ahead and route this in both sides. The one side we're going to have to route over this way. So we will do that. There we go. And then down to here. And we need to replace the power, of course. So I can get rid of this line because this is the copper line and this is no longer going to be going up this way. Actually, come to think of it, the coal doesn't even come up this way either because this is it's only my temporary solution, so I can just go ahead and remove this right now. Yeah, that'll make a hell of a lot more sense, won't it? Actually only use exactly what we need. So let's curve this around this way and into this splitter, and there we go. Okay. So now I need to make a identical apparatus for this. So I want to leave myself a little bit of room in case there is a need for future expansion, of course, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm just going to copy this verbatim. Actually, verbatim only is a word that works for words, right? What if there's a word for verbatim that means the same design as something else? If not, I should make a word that means that. English is a pretty funny language sometimes. All the little tricks and such you can do with it. Oh, I need some more of those. Actually, I'll go ahead and just go back up here and start dismantling this line again. Boop, 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 boop. I will have to have a an iron line going in the opposite direction, of course, but for now that'll work. Go ahead and dismantle these temporarily. Let this finish smelting all of its stuff. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I do need coal up here because of the power, which I will likely need to expand here soon as well. Yeah, I totally forgot all about that. Actually, I could just move the power down here, so maybe I'll do that. Save myself a little bit of space and move away from this area here. So I'll just let that stuff finish its smelting. Collect the rest of this nonsense. And likely we'll end up moving the power line down here. Seems like a plan to me. Okay, so we've got the distribution lines there. I'm going to need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The problem with potentially using inserters to evenly distribute things is that the inserters themselves can become a bottleneck, but I've left myself a little bit of room to expand this to get up to 3 inserters if it ends up needing to be that much, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm fairly certain it won't, actually. But time will tell. In the meantime, while we're waiting for those, we can actually create our mining setup for the iron here. And let's see here, that's got 11k, and this has 23k, which is more than enough, but that's fine. Just going to stick with a 2-wide line for the iron presently. Can always expand as needed. And the iron needs to come in right here. I'll just have this merge right there. And there we go. So now the iron is coming into where it needs to be. Should be good for that. Good, good, good. And make these and these. There we go. We're also going to need some more conveyors here to convey the coal in this case. So the other line, this one right here, needs to be routed underneath and off in this direction. There we go. There's the coal line. And then we are going to bring the copper straight across. And there we are. Underneath here to there. We will also have to double the copper production, of course. Sorry, Mr. Copper Miner. You gotta move. I need your buddy. I can do some more sciencing. I need some more iron, looks like, which we have plenty of, so that's fine. 7.3k. How much is this? 5.3k. Good enough. No solution in this game is permanent. There's always going to be some sort of a inadequacy that needs to be resolved. So we're almost ready to start the smelting process proper and have our lines all set up. All this hard work and organization is finally starting to pay off. Very likely we're going to need to increase the capacity of all these quite a bit. Actually, it looks like we are tapping out our electric grid, so it's well enough that we should just rather expand our electric grid in the first place. So let's go ahead and, you know what, we're just going to go up to the max that we can sustain off of a single pump, which is 4 boilers powering 3 steam engines. So we'll grab some extra iron here, which we have in abundance. We'll make, let's see here, we'll make 3 more boilers and 2 more steam engines. And we'll cut the electric grid temporarily as we bring our power down here. Let's Let's see here. I think we'll just run it right here. This is fine. Sorry, power grid. We're being temporarily commandeered for the purposes of moving. Grab that. And 4 boilers. And 3 steam engines. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, look at that. Actually works out quite well. And I will place the coal line on this side. So we will need to do that. Let's go ahead and branch it here. Grab some of this iron ore. Clear that out. And that to curve up this way. To meet up here. And make a few more of these. Also going to need some lights. Should be able to put a light there. That'll be fine. And that. Unfortunately, it's a little awkward right now because of this. Not putting exactly what we need on it, but we can go ahead and fix that. There we go. So now no more iron will be coming along this line. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Do we not have... Did I not grab the inserters from up here? I did, but I must have used them elsewhere. That's all right. Let's make a couple. I prefer just using normal inserters to save a little bit of power. The fast inserter uses quite a bit more, and you definitely don't need fast inserters to keep a heavily maintained power line. So you actually need to generate some electricity. So I'll go ahead and manually feed in some coal here, and this will of course get everything powered up immediately. And then as the coal production continues, we should be able to get that all taken care of. You can see the coal is finally getting added to both sides. Yeah, there we go. Finally splitting properly. There we go. So that should be able to sustain itself as needed. Oh, actually, this is interesting. It's not... It's actually only splitting on one side. That is interesting. Unless it gets backed up. I'm going to have to mess with that and figure out how I can fix that and get that properly set up. It's just not quite right. In the meantime, we will get our smelting array set up. Get some lights in it so we can keep that bright. As you can see, it's doing exactly what it needed to. Except for here, because I'm an idiot and didn't finish the line there. So these are placing the materials quite adequately on the different rows. I just hope there's enough throughput to actually finish this properly. So let's have these lines merge here. Gonna need a few more smart inserters, or fast inserters rather. The old quick inserters as I sit up in my creaky, squeaky chair. Now I'm almost counting on these to tend towards a specific direction, but the reality is that the actual direction that these get placed on the transport is not important because they're going to be merging onto a single belt. This is the start of the bus system that I've been touting for so long. That's a word, right? Touting? I don't know, it sounds like a word. Even if it isn't a word, you guys should be able to understand what I meant from context. Also, I realize I need to have a exit from that as well. Otherwise, I cannot in good conscience call this a merged line. This would be proper. Oh, wrong direction. You know what the conveyors in this game really remind me of is a game called Robo Rally. If you guys have ever played that, it's a board game actually designed by Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering. Learn something new every day when you watch Cilantro Gamer. May not be stuff you actually want to learn about. Maybe something trivial and frivolous. Frivolous. Maybe something frivolo, including the word frivolo. Frivolo. Pretty funny to say. Oh, actually, I was wondering why I was making transport belts and they weren't showing up. That's because I did not have them in my inventory. There we go. So if I've done anything right, if I've done anything correctly even, this should be an even distribution on both sides of the lines here. So let's get this some power. if I can find a nice and efficient way to power everything here. I really need to invest in the technology that allows me to have the better power lines, because there is one that is quite improved. I can already assume that my coal throughput is just not enough, so I'm likely going to have to expand that, and probably will have to expand my iron throughput as well. So there was an initial issue with them loading the materials in a different order, but I think that should be resolving itself without a problem. So now I just need to empty all of this. We are not getting fuel here because there is no coal that will reach here because I never finished this. That should take care of that. That's a slight issue there. There we go. Alright, we are up and running. I'm going to see how the coal actually handles itself. For now, we're actually sitting okay. It's not great. I can already see some of the lines are starting to empty a little bit, but it's working at least. It's happening at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more of those bad boys. I cannot wait to start getting some of these materials automated so I can actually, finally, hopefully, be able to get my systems all set up. That would be very nice to start actually properly automating. It's been a large amount of prep work thus far, but that prep work is about to pay off. I promise you. Old cilantro would not lie to you. There are actually a few other things that I wanted to try to science, having to do with other ways to potentially evenly distribute to try to solve the problem that we've been having here. This is kind of interesting, actually. So these are tending towards being on both sides of this conveyor. I wonder if this is going to cause any potential issues with the loading of this. I may try to set this up so that this also gets placed on... Actually, I can do that pretty easily, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do this just in the interest of ensuring that this will run smoothly, if you know what I mean. I could also theoretically be using long-handed inserters to make this work, but I've actually read somewhere that the soundtrack for this game may be getting an overhaul at some point, and I would be kind of disappointed by that, because I actually really enjoy this soundtrack. I think it's very Factory-y. That's a word, right? I feel like we'd lose something from this. Maybe they'll at least expand the soundtrack. I don't have the music turned up too loud, but if you can at least hear it in the background, I enjoy keeping it on. And since I don't really edit my LPs here to the point where the music would get all disjointed, I think it's quite enjoyable, actually. So I need to get on the bottom side. So this should actually, this right here should work, I think, right? Maybe not. Looks like it's still getting jammed up slightly. Okay. There we go. Whoa, got a little messed up there. This is kind of interesting. It does look like there's not quite the efficiency that I want, so I may need to revise this as time goes on. But I think for now this is working well enough, and it does look like we are not even close to keeping up with the iron mining that we require. So let's go ahead and expand both our iron and copper production, which should be rather trivial to do, of course. Again, trying to ensure that we are keeping even amounts of each material flowing. You know what, while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and expand my coal. The big worry, of course, that I have here is that my coal supply in general is not in a good spot right now. I just do not have a lot of coal available, generally speaking. I'll try to distribute this a little bit more evenly. See how each of these has like a certain pool of resources available? I like to kind of make that a little even if I can't help it. That should be pretty good there, I think. Need some more electric poles. Thankfully, my person is in possession of the ability to craft complex infrastructure devices with his bare hands. I should name my character. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on how I could name my little character, he looks a little chubby. Of course, I'm a little chubby IRL, so there's also that, but I don't know, he looks kind of chubby. Alright, we producing more here. There, oh, hang on. There we go. The old mining supply increase as required. And then same thing over here with the coal. Oh, right. I wasn't originally going to expand the coal, but I did. Or sorry, over here with the copper. Sure do like misspeaking. It's my favorite hobby, I guess, judging by how often I do it. My hobbies include misspeaking and saying things inappropriately and not speaking goodly. As far as the copper, we have an excess of this, so I'm not going to worry about making this one super ultra effective. This will... Whoa! Uh-oh. Oh god, that's not good. Our first alien attack. Hey! Hey, jerks! That's infrastructure, alright? I need that for making things being a thing. So I guess this part of the game is starting on us. Looks like we lost a few pieces there. So let's fix these if we can. That was broken, and what do we have here? This was broken. So I guess it's time to start defending ourselves against the alien intruders. I believe I lost a electric pole there as well. And this is leading nowhere, so this one obviously was destroyed. What was this? This is nothing. This is a big pile of nothing. This is my nothing line that's used to move nothings. Choppity chop. Get this crap out of the way. Sorry for all the pollution, bros. I guess as soon as I expanded my power production, it was inevitable I would start getting attacked. So, do I have turret technology at all? Boy, I sure don't. I'm going to have to work on getting that up and running here soon. You know, I kind of got into the zone of making a bunch of other stuff here, but didn't even realize I was causing myself that sort of a problem. So let's get some turret science up and running. We have enough packs to do that manually, thankfully, so I can at least set up a couple turrets. Just some rudimentary ones, manually loading them. It shouldn't be a big deal. I can also make a repair pack here, so I don't have to see this ugly health bar anymore. Thankfully, these starter guys are not, like, unbelievably dangerous or anything. There we go. And, interestingly enough, when you have damaged material, they have their own stacking rules. So you've got to be careful for that. The first couple attacks won't really be that commonly effective on me. You know, I'm not expecting to suddenly get overrun by a million bugs in a you know, in a fashion where they're undefeatable. But I should have known as soon as I placed those other buildings that my throughput of pollution was going to skyrocket. But let's check what our power usage is. Okay, so we're actually only at about half capacity, but that's fine because we're going to very quickly be expanding this and probably needing even more power than what we have here. So as soon as these turrets are done, I will build some defenses, but I think that's going to have to wait for the next episode of Let's Play Factorio. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.